I'm Kevin Elizabeth, a wedding photographer based in San Diego and also the owner of the White Flower Bridal Boutique. In today's video, I am going to be sharing my thoughts on how many wedding dress boutiques you should visit, how many people you should bring with you. These are questions that come up a lot, and sometimes I also see brides going a little overboard on both sides, and the final result of that is that the bride is typically overwhelmed, tired of shopping, and it's no longer enjoyable. So my tip would be that you visit no more than 3 bridal boutiques. Of course, you can visit 12 or 20 if you want to. However, by the time you've already visited 3 boutiques and seen most different styles, there's not going to be that much more to find at the 8th shop compared to the 12th shop. At that point, I would have to say that maybe ask yourself, do I really know what I want? Am I having trouble shopping because I don't like any of the dresses? Is it that I don't like the way I look and how I feel? So at that point, I tend to find that there's something going on with the bride. It is not recommended that you try on 100+ dresses to find the perfect wedding dress for your day. And on that point, you do not have to cry to make it be your wedding dress. If you don't normally cry in situations when you're happy or you've gotten something you're really excited about, don't put that pressure on yourself to cry over a wedding dress in order to make that be your dress. So I would recommend visiting no more than 3 boutiques. But that said, we actually have brides who try on a dress and we are their first shop, and the first dress they pick is the dress they buy. Once you find a dress that you're totally in love with and that dress is not missing anything that perhaps can't be added in alterations or customizations, then that can absolutely be your dress. I don't believe in the one when it comes to relationships or wedding dresses because I think there could be many ones. You just need to find a one that is great for you and that you love wholeheartedly and don't find anything missing in it. So that is my philosophy. You do not have to overshop because overshopping for most brides that I have seen and what my stylists have told me from what they have seen over the years is that overshopping just makes the process very tiring. The dresses all start to blend together. You are no longer having an emotional moment. You're just going through a bunch of dresses. So I would say if you found a dress that you love, you could see yourself walking down the aisle, and it doesn't matter if it's the first dress you've tried on or the 10th dress you've tried on, that is your dress. You don't have to cry. I did not cry. I put my dress on in my office in this very room. I looked at it in the mirror. I thought, I love this. I FaceTimed my mom. She said she loved it, and I kept it. That was my experience. It's very non-traditional, but we have a lot of brides who cry and a lot of brides who don't cry. So don't put pressure on yourself or your friends to have to cry in order to signal that that is your dress. So I feel like that's a really big tip. I see it all the time on Say Yes to the Dress. People are always crying, but not everybody is a crier. So you don't have to cry to make the dress your one. I cannot stress that enough. So that's the amount of stores that I would recommend visiting. If you find your dress at the first store, you are welcome to cancel your appointments at the other stores. You don't necessarily have to go to them. You certainly can, but if you found your dress, you found your dress. Now, when it comes to how many people to bring with you, what we see and the feedback we hear from brides is that less is more. Bring the people with you whose opinion is most essential to your purchase, and bring anybody who has to be a financial decision maker. So this saves you from having to make a second appointment to come back with that decision maker who is paying for the gown if that is not you. I would say try to stick to one appointment at that shop for that dress if you can, just to save yourself time. So I think that really 4 people is the threshold for where above that starts to feel like a lot. I definitely would not recommend bringing 8, 10+ people. I'm not saying you can't, so if you were planning on doing that, please don't be upset with me. It is just my suggestion because when there are that many people, there are so many opinions bouncing around in the room. It can get really overwhelming and confusing for the bride. And this is not something we've just observed. This is feedback we've heard from brides saying, I wish I hadn't brought so many people. I wish I had come alone, or I'd only brought 2 people. So you can always have fewer people at your appointment, and I think that that's going to be more efficient for your appointment. You're not going to have to hear out 10 different people and drag the appointment out, and it's just more manageable. You don't have as many thoughts bouncing around in your head, and just bring the people that you love. Don't bring anybody you know is going to be really difficult or rude to you. We've had some people bring guests, even sometimes mothers, who are nothing but negative about every single dress, or they are acting like it's their wedding and they're not understanding this is for the bride and what she likes for her. Guests need to understand that they need to put themselves in the mindset of the bride. It is not for them. Somebody else like the bride might have a completely different style. So we always recommend trying to bring your supportive guests. Now, of course, constructive criticism is always welcome. To ask your guests, do you like this? Do you not like this? That's totally fine. But if you are going to bring somebody who is going to be really negative no matter what, I would say try to see if you can leave them at home. Now, if you're thinking, well, Calvin, I want to include 20 people in my appointment, but that sounds like too much for that appointment, what you can absolutely do is bring others back for your viewing appointment. And a viewing appointment is what we like to refer to as an appointment that you make once your actual special ordered gown has arrived to the store. You come back in, you try it on, maybe you try out some accessories with it, so you can bring other people to that viewing appointment that did not make it for the actual first bridal purchasing appointment. Additionally, you can bring people to your alterations fitting or your final fitting. So you can spread out those 10 plus guests over those 3 different kinds of appointments, and that thus becomes more manageable for you. Those people feel like they've all been included, but you have not overwhelmed yourself on your shopping experience with way too many people. And some stores actually might not have room to accommodate 8 plus people. Our shop comfortably seats like 6 tops, and if we have more than that, we have to pull out extra chairs, and it's just not as cozy. Not everybody can fit on the couch and the lounge chairs, so we recommend smaller for space so that guests are comfortable, but also because we know that usually it is much easier and more enjoyable for the bride to have fewer guests. So that is one thing to say. Another thing I would like to point out is that some brides actually do come by themselves and they prefer it that way. So if you want to shop alone, you can absolutely do that. There is nothing wrong with going by yourself and only having your own opinion to go on. Now, one last thing that I want to say is that when you are making your shopping appointments, make sure that all of the essential decision makers are going to be able to come in that appointment. If they're not, don't try to make 2 appointments to get them in for that shopping experience. Try your best to find a date when all of them can come in, or perhaps you do a video chat, FaceTime, or Skype, and make sure that that person is available remotely during your appointment if you need to show it to them to make sure that it can pass the test. So that is something that I recommend because you don't want to be repeating the same dress process over and over to fit in different people who have to say yes for you to sign off on the gown. Try to do it efficiently. This saves you time. It's better for the store because it makes sure that then they have time to serve other brides in the second appointment slot that you might have come back for. So it's just better for everybody if you can try to condense your appointments down when everyone you need to be there can be there. So that is pretty much it, guys. I hope that you are enjoying this new series on wedding dresses. Now that I am a bridal boutique owner, I am going to be sharing lots of knowledge and tidbits in the future. If there are any questions that you want me to address on the videos about dresses, I would be more than happy to read those down in the comments below. See you guys next time. Bye!